Students, your time has come. I have decided that it's time to share some of my knowledge with you. That's right. Do you want to become a true legendary professional wrestling character? Do you want to learn how to project your voice, to enunciate, to come up with the greatest promos that you possibly could? Then you need to join me each and every week for just $50. I am hosting a masterclass on Zoom. That's right. You don't have to travel. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. I will teach you how to become the greatest character you can be. I will help you discover who you truly are. I will help you with taglines, promos, etc., etc. Join me for just $50 a week in a masterclass of wrestling character development. There's a reason they call us the masters of wrestling. Students, welcome back to this another live broadcast of Masterclass. And it truly is a masterclass today because we have a fantastic guest, a man who I am an extreme fan of, ladies and gentlemen. He's joining us this week. But before we introduce him, at the top of the screen, my tag team partner, one of my tag team partners, former NXT tag team champion, the man himself, the fixer, Martin Stone. We can't hear you. What happened to your mic?
You're muted.
Yeah, you've muted your mic.
There we go. How's that?
Right.
There we go. There we
Perfect.
go.
You're doing right. I'm the master.
Not mixed people. I do apologize.
I am the master Amir, and at the bottom of our screen, our very, very special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Bin Hamin.
Hello, what's good, guys? Thanks for having me on here. Masters of Wrestling Infidels. That's right. You better sign up. $50. That's it. I'll take it out of your wallet. You better sign up for the promo course because you're less than nothing if you're not working on your craft. So sit back and watch this, The Art of Wrestling, the Masterclass. Yeah, man, I'm glad to be here, dude.
Thank you so much, Ben. I will Zell you the cash after the podcast.
Oh, that got me pumped.
Yeah.
that got me pumped, and I'm glad you've got a product to promote. Like, that's so much of what we should be thinking is businessmen, producers, performers. You have to be in control of all that, and if that's where you excel and you can help leave the industry better than you found it, and especially with the advent of technology and demassification, you don't have to pack up your life and move now. You can learn from a lot of masters digitally and making that investment in yourself. If you're not going to do it, do you really want to follow your dream? You have to sacrifice to do this. So $50 is a small price to pay to dip your toe in the water of taking some notes from somebody that could really point you in the right direction and start you on a path to who knows where. So I was really pumped to see that. I love that idea. I've thought about that. I just don't unfortunately have the time to dedicate to mentoring right now, with as much business as I got going on. So,
Yeah.
I was honored to be here and make acquaintance with you on Cafe de Rene. So I love this synergy. And Martin, great to meet you, buddy, as well.
You too, sir.
Yeah, it's absolutely great to have you here. But character is so important, Ben, as you know, you yourself. It's like, and one of the things that Martin and I talk about often is the lack of character. It's like, how can we, as wrestling fans, be vested in the product if we don't have the superstars to follow anymore? You know what I mean? Ben, is your microphone gone off? Okay, he's got some technical difficulty. Oh, you're back.
Got me or not?
There we go.
There you go. You're back. Oh.
It was just something. It was just something on a USB port.
Yeah. One of the things I noticed, speaking of superstars, Ben and Martin, I was looking at the TNA ratings. No, what was it? Yeah, it was TNA. No, AEW, sorry. So AEW's ratings were constantly hovering around 400,000 to 500,000. But last week, when who was that guy? Tommaso Ciampa?
Yeah. So I came up through OVW with him, and I know him very well. Yep.
When he jumped over, the ratings of AEW jumped up almost 150,000 for that episode, Ben.
Good. I mean, Ciampa is a 20-year pro, a pro's pro. And it started out as kind of even scrawny manager in the Indies in the Northeast, sacrifice, go to OVW and do what needed to be done. And then really took over with Gargano on the Indies with ROH, and they called the office every day for 18 months. I'm not kidding you. I'm not exaggerating. Like, oh, they said they called every day to get their shot, dude. So, and as parents as well, and they did great biz on the Indies. So, and then when they got there, their political swords were sharp enough that they knew that if they got over with Hunter and Sean, they were going to be made. And because the big thing is, well, look at their size. Well, look at how they were featured in NXT. They were with Adam Cole. They were featured, boy. They had a hell of a run, right? So they might have not gotten the biggest paydays, but they've survived for 20 years in wrestling. You know what I mean?
They had big paydays.
Yeah, I mean, not WrestleMania, but like good enough. But that's them, knowing how to get close to top guys. And then sometimes, especially after you've had neck surgery and Ciampa's been through it, that time where they're not going to make an investment runs out, but he can go right over to AEW and work with all the Florida Good brothers that want to work with him because he's one of the dudes, you know what I mean? So I'm glad that the numbers followed him over there. So people weren't like, see, he's not a draw. He can't, dude. Anybody can be a draw if you make them interesting. You put the machine behind them, and they have the sword sharp enough to do it. Tommaso Ciampa, you say 10,000 hour rule. He's a 40,000 hour guy, bro. He's been doing this, another 10 years is going to be a long time. That'd be like 3 decades for him. So
I mean, kudos to him. One of the things I found the most interesting though was, this whole concept of not developing stars and allowing WrestleMania to be the star now. The event is the star. But this just proved that you need to develop stars because, like I said, 150,000 jump, that was for him. That was that intrigue for that moment. So this is where I feel that they're missing the boat. They're not developing stars. Didn't Roman Reigns come out recently and say something to this effect?
Yeah, well, he's stepping aside, you know what I mean? And I like how Punk called him out saying, oh, your quarterly vacation is you just being humble to give somebody else a chance. Like everybody can frame up how they want to make things look how they want. And I like that when you can do cutthroat politics in a wrestling promo that is around without saying Colt Cabana and the da-da-da-da. But like, we can dance more with that. You know what I mean? Because to not acknowledge it, to take a Roman phrase, it's dumb because it's in the ethosphere. We all know it. So to say it's the elephant in the room and not look at it, no, accept it, use it, serve it up, but do it in the highest intelligence and integrity way that your character's emotional context will allow to do it in. Yeah, and I think they really did that. Please, Martin, go ahead.
Yeah, the face-off promo that Roman and Punk did, I thought was fantastic. And again, there was a few false things like the evil chuckle from Roman. It was false, but you can tell there's like, hey, I don't like you. I never have liked you, and so now to me, I watched that and I was like, okay, you've just talked people into the building. Because now you've created intrigue and you've created that. Is this, again, smoke and mirrors? It's wrestling. Mm-hmm. And that I love. I absolutely love that promo. And getting back to Ciampa, I do think a lot of the 150 jump was because Ciampa has gone on record, and this is where I'm going to play devil's advocate. Mm-hmm. He has gone on record and said, I will die for Hunter and I will always want to be on the main roster if Hunter is in charge.
So he's
I've been good friends with, again, I came up with Ciampa in the time period when NXT was considered like the best brand, So I've been around Ciampa for a long time. I've worked him numerous times on the indies, and he always said to me, if Hunter runs the main roster, I will never leave.
I got a little bit of a surprise.
What to say about that? The fact that he let his contract subside, and I am so happy for him because again, he had
But here's the thing, like
really
Hunter might know, Hunter might feel that way, and Hunter might know. He's like, dude, they're not going to give you the money.
Yep.
Go over there and get that money from him, and then come back. And they know that, so it's not like he's betraying them. Like that might be their plan, is to go.
I find it very interesting that he's jumped ship when he is a Hunter guy through and through. I mean,
throw this to you, Martin.
We were all Hunter guys, like we were. That was the whole reason I got let go, because Hunter had his heart problems and he was no longer there. Johnny Ace came in and then he fired the rest of the guys that were hired by Hunter, and I was on that list. So it's,
it's they have to endear you to them only to betray you later. That's the way it goes, right? It's just all part of the reality.
I just found that really. I found that it's great for Ciampa, because again, he came in. It was a great promo. Not a fan of his music, but to come in with that, and then the following week he wins the title.
Now he'll go back to Psycho Killer Keskase, right?
I hope so. I hope so.
But Tony Khan will buy the rights, and that's the other thing too. Is it'd be interesting. Is there's been rumors of Shane going over there. Yeah. So if they can carry this,
I hope.
And if AJ Styles leaves and they really want to make it look good, they should have Shane, and the first guy Shane brings in is him, and you tie Ciampa to Shane, and you make it and Baron Corbin, and you really get this show on track where it should have been 3-4 years ago.
And again, even if AJ Styles is done, the dude has earned his flowers. He has earned every single bit of respect. From
you can have your New Japan match there.
Let him go, and if he wants a payday, let him go and get it. It's not going to tarnish his career at all.
Gentlemen, Martin, I got a special surprise for us here. Now, Ben, this is one of our co-stars. Now, I'm going to bring him on the screen. He is a great respecter of your work, Ben. But he's in hospital right now. This is my tag team partner, Benacia Suave. Matthew Jacobs, he's recovering. He had a reaction to chemo. He went through chemo last week, but he wanted to be part of the show. Matthew, my man, I love you, brother. It's good to have you here, man.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for stuff. So good to see you, my man.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I mean, dude, you don't got to sell the beating that hard that you took on the show that week. This guy, you want to talk about commitment to the bit. He's calling into the podcast from there. We're glad to see you, buddy. Good, thank you, man. And I'm a big fan of you guys now for sure.
I'm a huge fan of your work, Ben. I listen to your podcast that you do the Friday mornings. Your work with Renee, your Vince Russo. You are amazing. Your wittiness, your New York smart mouth, your funniness, your knowledge. And when Amir told me you were on, I'm like, Amir, I'm in the fucking hospital. Of all time, you have to get him in the hospital.
He's like, he had to.
No, you notice the one thing he said, he's never watched any of my matches because he wouldn't like me after that because I'm rotten as fuck. So.
I didn't get to see your work because I didn't know of you, and you already retired.
Yeah, there's plenty of old shit on YouTube. I'm Ben Hamin YouTube channel. If you guys ever get bored and want to see 1980s work throughout the 2020s, 2010s, it's out
guess
there.
What? I got over though, right?
Yeah, because I'm a different flavor on the show, and on the indies, there's always going to be a legend that needs to be handled with care, and I'm very trusted to have that spot, honored to have that spot, and I got to live out my childhood fantasy working with guys that I grew up watching, man, and even getting pulled out of retirement 2 months ago to do a spot with Godfather, so there's awesome. It was cool, man. And I'm glad you guys are listening to all those shows. I love the synergy of this, and that's why I was really excited to come on here tonight onto your guys' platform, because rising tide raises all ships. I'm all about group mind and all about the best will always find each other. So here we are, man. And, we want you to feel healthy, and I'll be happy to come back on when you're at home, and anything you want to shoot or ask me, man, that you may not get to tonight or however long. We don't want you to wear yourself out, dog. I'm glad you did the run in. take a little heat from you. And
That's good, man.
The chat's all saying big shout out to you, Bodacious Suave. So YOLO infidel, that's right. Chemotherapies. I don't care about any of you Native Americans, whatever you are. Get out of here right now. You're banned from the country. Bodacious Suave.
Good, I am.
You're over with me.
I am Native American. I don't know if you do.
Oh, you're the one.
He is, yeah. So, Ben, did you ever get any serious heat for doing the character? Any recollection? Yeah.
I've had death threats. A guy got kicked out of the military because of me, and so we play in Watertown, which was where our last show was. Yeah. That's 10th Mountain Division, military, very high level Rangers and ops. A lot of guys that were, in Afghanistan directly, 10th Mountain Divisions, and many in Iraq. And my whole character is PTSD 9/11 payoff, right? So it doesn't matter. My character can handle everything. And now that I'm even retired, I'm leaving a lot on the table with this Epstein file stuff. There's so much I could do with AI. But, it didn't matter whenever it was the WikiLeaks and all that kind of stuff. I invented the hacker Hamin, and that's how I got into CW. I hacked their website and all that shit. So I just take what's out there, and it doesn't matter if it's George Bush, Barack Obama, Bin Laden, whoever. I just let it come through my character and whatever's going on. Like 2 months ago, they're all at the wrestling show, and I canceled all their SNAP and EBT benefits. It's a bunch of wrestling scumbag fans. You should have seen, like, all you got to do is press the right button, right? Like, yeah. And as a professional improviser, for years before I got into wrestling, I just am trying to be in the moment as much as possible. I know where I might want to go, but I let it come to me and go through me that way. So, yeah, man, that 80s shit got me to work with Piper, wave a flag and do an accent, and you get to work with Duggan, Sergeant Slaughter, Tracy Smothers,
Wow.
The
list.
Yeah, dude. And Mick Foley. I mean, it goes on and on and on, but I'm not here to be like, I worked with, and that's just as an indie guy. And I only got into this to be on the creative side. So all of that to me is a humbling dream come true. Yeah. And I don't disrespect the fact that I got to do it. I put in the work, took the bumps, and did the miles, but it turned into something I never envisioned. And I remember in my head, like early 90s, I could be the next Vince Russo with this improv and how I want to bring it. And now he's my business partner. So it's strange how you manifest things. It might not work out in the way that you envisioned it, but you will get there in whatever it is you want to do if you stay on path to the journey and just try and move it forward. It's going to take you there, man. So
yeah,
I'm lucky.
Absolutely.
I'm very, very, very lucky, dude.
Yeah, no, very, very blessed to have you here too, because creativity, that's the big thing right there. When you mention creativity, it's something that obviously has shifted gears so much now, Ben, back from the 80s, back from, obviously Vince now is doing fantastic job with JCW. We're always, tooting JCW's horn. I love what he's doing. To me, he's the only sports entertainment company left, because I don't really see that in the others anymore. So what do you think caused that shift, Ben, in the mainstream, where they stop focusing on sports entertainment and try to make it look like more like a real sport, essentially, is what they're trying to make it look like?
Well, I don't want to insult Martin by, because I know NXT is his, home property, but I was at OVW when everything shifted to Johnny Ace and to Skinner Steve Kern for FCW to lay the groundwork for NXT, where they actually got worked by Hunter. And I was standing there, and Hunter and Sean are going, OVW will always be part of WWE. They made so many stars from here. 8 weeks later, back the truck up, boys. We're taking But it worked for me because I got to become head of creative after that. So, and there was still plenty of great talent around. So, but I've seen these lies and deception before. And then NXT just kind of became a factory system to crank out Randy Orton model repetitious stars. Here's how you do your entrance. Here's how you get in the corner. Here's your catchphrase. Here's this pose. Oh, kick out on 2. Here's this face. Oh,
the kick.
Yeah, and if you're training people who aren't passionate about wrestling and are D1 athletes, and you got to coach them, sure, that's a breakdown of our formula. But that Bob Marley, if you don't know your history, you'll never know where you're coming from. Then you wouldn't have to ask me who the hell you were thinking.
Right.
Buffalo Soldier.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they don't even know their history, let alone to good artists create, great artists steal and make it their own, where I can look at anything from 83 from Volkov and Sheik, take it and make my own spin on it so it's germane in 2026.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if they don't have even that type of coach to harness those skills and sharpen their mind, of course they're going to try and turn those kids around in 3 years to get them to the main roster. Well, then what's your main roster look like when you got kids who've only done this for 3 years? My coach, Rip Rogers, would say it takes 8 years in this shit before you even start to get it. And he's not wrong. And then you get it for about 4 to 6 years, and then your body fails you and it's a big rib, and because that's when you're in your prime. And then you can't move like you used to, and you go from being Cactus Jack to pulling a sock out of your crotch and going whack. Well, what if we started with the sock crotch pull and started there?
Yeah.
And where can we go?
Yeah.
So character work and entertainment can be anything. And there's a sadistic side to this with the violence, and we love it, but it needs to mean something as opposed to just doing violence for no reason with no emotion attached to it. Now you're just waiting to get injured, and they'll take you out back and put a bullet in you like any racehorse and plug in the next asshole who still doesn't care about wrestling, who just can do athletic ooh and ah moves, and the product becomes less and less emotionally attached.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things I've noticed.
You've just summed up developmental in a nutshell.
Yeah. The accent on the mental part, my friend.
Yeah.
and a lot less on the develop. Right. So all I ever wanted to do was bring Improv Olympic and Second City level improv that I was doing before I came to wrestling to wrestling, because I knew I had the secret to make it special. But my character was so hot button, and I'm a politically motivated comedian at the time, you know what I mean? In Chicago, early 2006, 2005 when I started going OVW. But for 6 years before that, I'm in the trenches getting ready for Saturday Night Live. So why they didn't want to, I know why they don't want to bring a guy like me in who doesn't give a fuck. And like, no, let me show you. Because I could have taught them that level of improv where we don't need writers.
Right.
We just need some bullet points, and everybody's trained to a level where they say yes and they're active listening. We create smaller worlds that intersect with each other on different levels, A, B, and C throughout the story. And the whole format is a formless form that will bring us back to the beginning and cliffhang again. But that would expose them as power. They would take away all their power, and it would truly make wrestling go to a higher level, and that would take away control from them and would scare them. And that's why they wouldn't. But you know who liked it? The USA Network president seemed to like it. So I worked with them instead. So get fucked.
Again, to that point, some of the writers I worked with, they would like hand me scripts on like stuff I'm supposed to say. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I ain't saying that. And I would go and say it, and I come back and get heat. And I'm like, I ain't saying that shit.
I think the main thing is like,
as an American, you can't write for a Brit. Yeah. So I can say my own slang, you know, like,
And it's what makes you special. It's what makes you special. And that's what they do a lot of times in NXT, just to test you. They take away what makes you special and want you to sink, and then they give it back to you and act like it was your idea. I know he won't like me saying this, but Rick Victor is a good friend of mine, and I think one of the best workers ever, bro. And in OVW he was APOC, and when WWE left, he kind of got to become this rock and roll character. I always forget the guy's name. House of a Thousand Corpses and
I know
Rob Zombie.
Yeah,
he was
Rob
like
Zombie,
a Rob, and that's who he is, bro. He's way into Danzig. He's way into metal. Like that is him. And when they say BU turned up to 11, dude, it worked. There was money written all over it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get there and they go, you should cut your hair short and shave your beard and goatee. And he does exactly what they say. He's Hart Family Dungeon, one of the last ones out of there. He knows the game inside and out, and he's one of the most chill dudes you'll ever meet. He's not a hothead like me.
Love that dude. I love him to death. Yeah.
And then they don't get over it all. He's generic wrestler number 4, like I said, out of the Randy Orton Play-Doh kit. And then they go, you know what? You should fucking grow your goatee back and grow your hair long. No shit. No shit, Sherlock. Thanks for wasting 18 months of bumps on me to work with these kids.
When we got this really great idea, we're going to put you in a tag team. Like, it's going to be money.
That's how they do it. That's not how I do it.
Yeah.
No. And I think that's one of the things that's really kind of stifling the business, the growth right now is, like you said, there's too many carbon copies out there. One of the things I brought up, I think with Renee, or maybe it was with you, Martin, we talked about how each character was so well defined, even in the way they wrestled in the 90s. The Undertaker, you knew it was him. Shawn Michaels, you knew it was him. Goldust, Warrior, they all had their distinct style of wrestling. But now they're all the same. You see guys, even the guys like Brian Cage, God bless him, but he's trying to wrestle like a guy who weighs 180 pounds. He's doing flips. It doesn't make sense for his character.
For me, it's hard because, especially when I'm on the shows with guys on the indies, and all they're doing is what they're seeing on TV because they're trying to get a job there. So I can't fault them for that mindset of, well, if I work like them and I can do it better or as good, then I'll get looked at. But I'm like, no, you need to be different. Like, you need to be different.
Yeah, we got a question.
It's trying to get through to guys and be like, it's okay to be different.
You can't, bro.
It's okay to be different.
I wish. It's not until after they go through it, get burned, come out of the depression, and then maybe they're deprogrammed enough to start that conversation.
Yep.
But I think the programming starts, gentlemen, and I've said this before, there are a lot of pop-up wrestling schools. And when I mean pop-ups, the people that just happen to buy a pro wrestling ring, they got a little bit of money, they get together, and you've got little trainers who are 26 years old, never made it, never will make it, trying to teach this generation how to do it. And this is where the problem starts because, you've seen it yourself. I've seen indie guy, backstage, move for move, look for look to the crowd. They can't even call it in the ring anymore, Ben. They can't even. Yeah.
It's a tough call for me to say that because, I was at OVW and then I came back to the Northeast to 2CW, which was the indie. There was no, there was only one other really in Rochester, maybe one in Buffalo, but 2CW ran the state except for down in New York City. So the guys that I work with there, like Colin Delaney, he runs Rochester with those guys there. So they've got good trainers. Over here we have Zachary Springate, myself, and some others, Cheech, who've helped train guys. And then out in Buffalo, they have some A+. And then in Binghamton, they have Sean Carr. So I understand in other places there may be shindy guys who do that. But because the way 2CW broke up, like the Death Star, and all the pieces settled back in the territories, they all kind of had a sensei master the last 10 or 15 years. So the indies in New York are kind of in a good spot because we wouldn't allow guys to fucking do dives. God love him. My tag partner, Blaze Haram, when I started tagging with him, he was indie down the way and he wants to do dives. I go, bro, we're heels. We're not doing dives. It's not because I can't do them or won't do them. I go, we don't do cool shit. We get heat. And I had to draw him back in. And about 2 or 3 matches in, the light bulb goes off. And after that, we were off to the races and we're booked in the top as tag champs all across the board, dude. It's about knowing when to do it and who is to do it and where to do it on the card. And if everybody's doing it, then it means nothing. So why am I doing it in my match?
Exactly. We got a question from
please go ahead.
One of our channel members here. If you want to become a channel member for just the price of a cup of coffee, that's all it is. You want to spend that Starbucks, or do you want to inject the Masters of Wrestling with that cash? You will get a free comment, a free shout out on every single live stream, and you'll have access to our members only section. Matt, this is Matt Bannister. I have a question for you.
It's goddamn Matt Bannister 35, dudes.
What are your thoughts if Rico, are you talking about Rico Constantino, Matt? Rico became GM on Raw or SmackDown. I think it would be awesome and would inject a ton of charisma and excitement that show desperately needs. Matt, you are correct, my friend. Ben, did you see the cafe yesterday? We had Rico do a quick run-in yesterday. Did you happen to see that?
I didn't, man. I'm sorry. I was at the shop, but I'll definitely catch it on replay.
Yeah.
Huge shout out to Rico. You know, in that strange Vince McMahon gay character constellation, which made the most of it, walked the line with it. And, you know, as an OVW guy through and through, he was in the class kind of right before me. And, you know, Kenny Bolin is kind of the connection there. So big shout out to Ken, legendary Kenny Bolin.
Bolin services, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of stuff that he would have done there, he tried to impart wisdom on me. So I'm glad to kind of have him as a OVW overshadowing brother who set a high standard of character that allowed me to do some of the shit I was going to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
but
I think
it's all Southern fried wrestling there. Character gets over. And you know where else, bro? Character, I loved performing there, bro. I gotta say, even though I put a ton of heat on him and I'm banned, I love Canada, my time in Canada, bro. I went to school near there and I love everything about it, music wise, Tragically Hip and Lowest of the Low are kind of like the soundtrack. And I also am a New York hip hop guy, so Wu-Tang is the soundtrack of my life on the road. But to get to wrestle up there, it feels like 1995 WWF. Like you are just trapped there. And if you think you're in your mind that you're working there in that mindset, it just works every time. To get to tag with Congo Kong, to get to work with the late Rob Rage, watch guys like Cody Deaner tear it down night after night, dude. And you really don't have to do a ton, and you just have to be an overdrawn character, and they bite on everything, and they love it, dude. And when you do that and other guys don't, like I don't know, they stand out because the guys who really just go in for it and live in the moment, it makes it so much more fun, man.
Yeah. Speaking of Canada, Matthew, bodacious one, I got to bring you in here. I know you're recuperating right now, but you've been hearing all this. You know, Ben, he's up in Canada right now in Montreal, in Montreal. So, Matthew, you got anything you want to add to this? Any questions for Ben right now?
What do you think of the Royal Rumble, Ben?
Yeah, I felt like a bought birthday show. Like okay. I feel like.
So I have a thing. I'm ready to just. That's it. Throw the Royal Rumble right in the garbage now. I don't want to see it no more in January ever again now.
Well, what if you're number 27 next year?
I don't think I will. I don't think I will, because there was no build up.
No,
I didn't see no hype. I'm seeing the same formula. The people winning the Royal Rumble are former champions. They're relying on the same formulas, so on. Remember the King of the Ring pay-per-views?
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
Hey, great pay-per-views, eh? But
no, I hate it because everyone who wins always gets saddled with some stupid accent and crown gimmick.
Okay, well let's go back to like the 90s example. Like Owen Hart, like that was his.
Yeah, he made it. He's probably one of the last most enjoyable.
Right. I mean,
ones.
Even Stone Cold won and got a push. Even Triple H. Like it was kind of like you were getting a push if you were in the tournament and won it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And same thing for the Royal Rumble back in the 90s. If you won the Royal Rumble, you were getting a name and it was kind of a push. Now there's no push. There's no nothing. Roman Reigns, this is the 1800th time.
Mm-hmm.
Liv Morgan, this is the 1600th time.
Mm-hmm.
Get over it. Just do your stupid year-based storylines of trying to build somebody.
I get what you're saying, man. And well, first of all, I don't think you're working this chemotherapy thing hard enough that you could get a Make-A-Wish number 27 spot if you put in for it now. I think that's the first thing. And the second thing is, now let me crush your Make-A-Wish, infidel. You're looking at things in the wrestling lens of how we used to love it under different management, where hopefully one thing led to the next. Yeah. Now you have a corporate product that is about synergy, flywheels, partnerships, resale prices, and metrics, and has nothing to do with making anybody or making a moment. It has to do with raising ticket prices, pricing families out, and not really caring about delivering an emotional product of heroes that kids can live through. They just want to have them yelling yeet and charge the highest price for it. Right. Yeah. So it's tough to like gauge this person in the same thing, because they showed it on Unreal, my guy, if you've watched it or not, where they have a whiteboard and they go, Chelsea Green is great, but she can't beat Alexa Bliss. What?
Yeah.
Anybody can beat anybody on any given Sunday, and Chelsea Green's a character actor. She only needs to interfere with Alexa Bliss, and somebody else beats Alexa Bliss. And then she keeps doing that, and that's what we call playing the game, setting up the pattern. And then everybody she wrongs will eventually come together to get over on Chelsea Green, because what we want from Chelsea Green is a pie in the face reaction. Yeah. That's what she does best. So we're not playing to her strengths, but those guys in there are going, well, Alexa Bliss was number 17 on the PWI 500 list. So there's no way that Chelsea Green, number 51, could beat her. Like, they're really judging on some bullshit IWC metric of who used to be champ. Nobody's champ.
Right.
It's fucking phony.
Right. It's a TV show.
Sit down as to who wins.
Belts are for guys who can't get over with character. Chelsea Green does not need a belt. Chelsea Green could have done the Secret Hervis Trump thing, president thing, all the time, like with a Roddy Piper, Piper's Pit sketch, Matt Cardona, Make America Sexy Again, tie it all in. They don't even come close to getting max value out of anything. No. So how is anybody supposed to win the Royal Rumble and get over like a Braun Breaker or anybody when they just go, who's the most over? Roman Reigns, he's winning. Yeah. We haven't built anybody. Nobody's away. We built all these guys. Are they as over as Roman? Nope. Roman's winning. Yep. No story, no build. That's as quick as it goes in their head now, my guy. And I love that your heart's in it in the old school way. But I got to fucking crush that dream on you, my dog, because you're going to keep running your head into the wall if you look through the fucking wrestling with that lens as to what they're actually doing in the writer's room, which looks like the most abysmal fucking place you could possibly be sentenced to right now.
Exactly,
yeah.
But
I think
I think most of the writers wish they were next to you getting chemotherapy right now, my guy. Like, I'm not.
But how is it still working? When are people going to be like, okay, look, I can't afford it, or why am I watching?
Who can afford it? Who can afford it?
I don't know. You tell me.
Everyone can afford Netflix.
Who just afforded the birthday party show? Who was that show for?
Which show?
Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Oh, that show. Okay.
No, but did you see? Yeah, but the prices were dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Dirt cheap in Saudi Arabia.
Because they sit on a $1 trillion public fund that is just for bread and circuses to pay for all this shit. They erected that thing with slave labor. Nobody's saying anything about OSHA or any of that bullshit. Dude, Saudi is going to buy Netflix.
We talked about that, Ben. And after you talked about that, I saw WWE put out a video this week. You know, they're doing these backstage videos now. All the wrestlers having fun on the amusement park rides in Saudi. Did you see that? You know, that reminded me of? That reminded me of the island in Pinocchio. Okay, Pinocchio. Right? When they go to the island, they become donkeys, right? It seems to me there is a global takeover consensus in their mindset. Like you said, if they get Netflix and they get everything under that umbrella, when they get Warner Brothers and everything else, then they control the media at that point.
Dude, they have $1 trillion just for bread and circuses. That's not even to build these cities. That they have an infinite amount more, multiple trillions that they're doing. And this 2030 project's no joke. And you hear about Vegas getting run down. What are they going to try and do? They're building the new Vegas. Well, if you're building Vegas, you need acts. What do they have right now? Live Golf.
Yeah.
Which needs a big boost, right? They have Tom Brady flag football, this new boxing thing that they're going to get involved with and be super shady with. Wrestling, they've already got there. They want MMA. You got wrestling. You're going to get UFC as soon as the price is right. They want football, just like how NFL is already going to London to do a game. While you're already there,
Netflix, right?
They're going to fly them over there, and it's already tied into Netflix. So now you put all those shows on there. Do you want, as a businessman, do you want to do each one of those deals individually that I just said, or do you want to conglomerate them all? So how much you fucking need? As opposed to dealing with this dickhead and this dickhead and this dickhead. Like, that's how it goes in these games.
So let's just pay Ben whatever he wants, and he can buy Netflix, and then he can work it all out.
Please, man.
Exactly.
I sell weed now. I'll be all right.
Guys, I got a question here from one of our loyal channel members. Thank you for becoming a channel member. This is One Boss, One TV, not ITV. Hi, guys. Loving the show. Hi. I have a question, but it's just a random question about JCW, which I love.
Shut up, God damn it. He's getting a sponge bath. Come on. This is the best part. Yeah.
Combination swamp. Seeing as you guys know Vince Russo, do you know if JCW has any upcoming pay-per-views planned? That'll be a question for you, Ben. Do you have any pay-per-views coming up possibly for JCW?
I'm not sure. I think the best thing to do would be subscribe to the YouTube and check anything there, and they'd probably be the most interactive. I think they're pretty interactive on Twitter. So Jasmine St. Clair she seems to respond to fans a lot. So definitely she'd have some inside look there. And Vince is pretty active with his fans. So forgive me, I just don't know their schedule. I know they've got shows coming up in Michigan, like 3 of them, and I think they're free. So in Detroit. So check their Twitter, check their socials. But you know, if you want to talk about business on the rise, I was glad to hear that about AEW with my man Ciampa. I'm glad to hear it with my man Vince Russo and Big Vito and everybody over there getting the shine and getting the opportunity to work under Vince's creative. And today he was even talking about on Master Shoot Theater how far in 4 months some of those younger performers who were shaken with nerves are now some of his best promo people. And it's just about being comfortable and getting comfortable with the group mind and being directed and bringing out, you know, level 10 performance and committing to the bit. So I'm glad they are there, dude. And I think there's a lot of gold to be mined there business wise with that Juggalo brand and a reboot because nostalgia's back. The Fago stuff is over. There's so many different things you could do with the clown thing, bro. Absolutely. And I don't know. I hope they continue to do bigger business in these secondary apps that are preloaded like Tubi and Pluto. I don't know a ton about them, but I think those are great homes for shows like that. To get out there for people having the background. It says JCW Wrestling, Juggalo. They're going to be like, oh, you know, and that's how you get to the mainstream through the underground. It's all right. It's all right to stay in the underground. The underground's expanded onto your preloaded TV. How do we get shows on there? How do we get these type of shows on there?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You know? So
many places just look at, we've got to get mainstream TV. And it's like, you are missing so much of the pie. To get to, like, it's never like, unless you have a massive machine behind you, like national TV, leave that to whatever. But there is so much potential, as you said, with places like Tubi and Pluto and stuff like that, you know?
And I don't even know about overseas one. You probably know about a bunch in the UK that I don't even know about, Martin, you know? So
again,
and look at how Impact and TNA became endeared to UK fans. So let's not think about the world. Let's think about a microcosms of underfed fans or fans that are underappreciated, and let's appreciate them with good shows. They're going to give that love back. And that's how you go from 100,000 to 150,000 in 90 days. You know what I mean?
And there's so many like of the good promotions back home have their own streaming sites, and it's $10. They don't charge anything more.
Nice.
And it's $10. You get the live shows, you get every single replay. And again, guys like James Storm were so over in the UK. So if the UK can get a product like JCW, everyone's going to tune in. Everyone's going to tune into it.
Absolutely. And you feature the guys that are there. Why not go there and do that? And I don't even probably need to get you started because you were probably a part of it. Of the reason NXT UK even existed was to cut Wide World of Sports' throat and to fucking pirate their talent. Now, for
even
guys
though
like
they said they never were. Oh,
I don't give them
wait.
that.
No.
Yeah, I heard them. We're
never
never leaving OVW.
They're never trying
aye,
to
Chief.
undercut world of sport. No, sir.
Oh man. But yeah, like JCW, man, we were talking about it. In fact, Martin and I put out that tape this morning about Vince's promo last week. What I love about Vince, and you're talking about pulling something out of what's going on in the world, out of reality, and quickly being able to ad-lib it and turn it into a spot, an angle in wrestling. So he took the Matt Cardona situation, put a spin on it, went after my Uncle Paul, poaching his talent, right? And it worked beautifully. And as we were saying, it harkened back to the Monday Night Wars. So what we're doing is we're pulling in that audience that have been lapsed for so many years. Yeah. It really, truly is. Again, anybody out there, if you've not seen JCW yet, I encourage you to find it on YouTube right now. Go over to their channel, hit that subscribe button, and tune in. You will not want to miss. It's must-see TV. And I think that's what we need now.
Well, I think it's an interesting start, but I think it's only sparked to a flame at this point, my guy. And this isn't any commentary on JCW because I'm super proud of them and I'm happy to do whatever they need me to consult or whatever it is, right? I'm at their disposal just because how much I care for Vince. That being said, it is a niche product with the clown thing on it, right? And it's good for character, but it's still niche. And it has its place, especially in this Comic-Con world of horror fans, like all that, right? They know their shit. But if the machine is trucking and they think they're over and their creative is dog shit, that means the underground can rise up when fed something of high quality. 2CW was that. 2CW is that to the point that Kevin Owens is talking about it on Cody Rhodes' podcast. Because my business partner, Josh, who was the owner and we owned the dispensary together, was the guy who put him in the ring with Terry Funk and made his dreams come true, like he made my dreams come true. And Josh isn't out there in the forefront going, I'm Josh, everybody, like the other guy on Unreal is. Yeah. And we used to take shots at him back then in the 2010s to 2015s, bro. And we got cease and desists and all that type of shit. So we booked all the people to get them over and get them jobs that they never could get over. Guys like Sammy Callahan, who's absolutely brilliant, and they just piss it all away, dude. They get 10% value on everything. So we got a super chat from Mike Blaisley, one of our channel members. Bodacious One, get well soon. Thank you, Mike, for that. We greatly appreciate it.
Guys, if you're going to send super chats, ask Ben. I'm just here for entertainment. Ben's got tons of knowledge.
I actually was looking. I didn't mean to be rude looking online. I was trying to find a video. So there was a character in Derby City Wrestling, which was the student show of OVW that we first started directing, that Rip was helping us get our feet wet, and there's a character named Richard Cranium who's a spastic, and he has a really high voice. And he mispronounces things. And he was one of Rip's, so Richard Cranium, dickhead. So he'd be like, 6 more weeks till the tournament, and I'm going to be there. And he gets beat up and gets sent to the hospital. So we had girls with huge fake gimmicks because WWE wasn't telling girls to get fake tits because they couldn't, but only girls who were getting hired with double Ds or bigger. So all the girls got them. right? So we had Richard Cranium in the shot that Bodacious Suave's in right now, with nurses leaning in and big tits while he cut the promo of only 3 more weeks to the tournament, and I'm gonna be back there. So I was looking for that video because right now when the nurse walked in, I was waiting for her to have a huge rack of gimmicks to like come into the shot. I got all excited. And like Bodacious Suave's got to have some serious, nurses over there. Come on,
I was going to say Bodacious one. Any nurses like that?
It'd be naughty nurse. Yeah.
Well, I'm at the Jewish General Hospital.
Shabbat Shalom! Get in here.
Not on this floor. It's a.
You better check and see if this guy's had his bris. I'm telling you right now.
No, not this is the cancer floor. In the emergency, yeah. This floor, no.
So that mean you can smoke weed on that floor?
Actually, I don't know. No, I'm gonna say
light
no.
it up. That's
they don't have much of anything there, right?
Yeah, ask for forgiveness, not permission, my guy. Just fucking
there you go.
Don't get it near the oxygen. Don't get her near the live oxygen.
Hey guys, Martin brought something up to me today, and I thought it was quite interesting about our good buddy Dwayne Johnson himself, The Rock. He's just been signed on to do another superhero movie, which again means he's going to have to get jacked to beyond normal proportional levels. We know he had the heart condition. Martin, you brought this up to me. What movie is it again, Martin? Do you know the title of it?
I can't remember. He's going to be like the biggest Marvel villain superhero, whatever it's going to be. But it being Dwayne, he's not going to allow his ego to let green screen and CGI make him huge. So he's going to go down that route again, and I don't like that.
I don't like that at all, my guy.
Yeah,
I think he's in a real dangerous place right now. You've seen people come off of cycles of Florida water, B12 advice, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? Like, so and when they come out of WrestleMania season, okay, you come off of some growth hormone, some testosterone, and maybe a stack of Tren for 8 weeks. Yeah. And then, some do. And then some of the girls get even fucking bigger. So, shout out to Big Mama Pump. And then they go, what? I'm all natural. Yeah, sure.
I'm clean, bro.
Yeah, sure.
And that's what we do there. This is a visual business. You hear that one. And that is true. We want to look like superheroes. And The Rock did that, my guy, all for the Mark Kerr story. And then he cycled down. And now, after 25 years of taking growth hormone, being stacked on whatever, who knows how much he's taken of Deca, switched it up X amount of times, bro. And now his heart is probably the size of a fucking Clydesdale's inside his chest. And then his body goes down, but your organs don't shrink. And now we got problems. Now what? You're going to do that again? You got to be, dude. If you're talking about Cat's 9 lives, we're at about 8 right here.
And that's also not taking into account the fact that obviously next year at Mania, he's going to be getting the biggest payday ever.
Yeah,
to do that
he just did.
So,
did you watch the Smashing Machine?
I haven't seen it yet. No, I haven't seen it yet.
Let me sum it up for you. And he doesn't do a bad job. Mark Kerr takes a shit ton of steroids and in the end doesn't win Pride fighting and loses almost everything in his life, but bounces back as a guy who's just fine. The Rock learns nothing from the movie he just starred in and what the moral of the story is of not taking a fuck ton of gas.
Just do more. It's fine.
It was Mark Kerr didn't take enough. If he would just took a little bit more, it would all come through for him. It's insane that we're playing history in a movie and not learning the lesson from it, and then going back to our own life and repeating the error once again.
But it's
at this point in time, he can walk away from everything. Like you don't have to do movies anymore.
I think Bodacious Suave's on the gas. Look at that fucking arm.
He is. He's on the juice right now. He was asking for it in hospital.
I tried to get
bigger than my head.
I tried to get on the gas when I started downstairs in emergency.
Tried.
Yeah,
I think you succeeded. I think you got on it.
Tell him what you said to the nurse, Bodacious Suave. What did you ask her when you first got there?
You ever seen one like this?
Come on. What did you say, Bodacious Suave?
I did say, do you like my shirts? By the way, these are Teddy Hart's shirts, just in case you're wondering. Okay. I know where he gets them, so I got mine made. But I started with that, and then let's go through your. Oh, we're gonna give you an immune booster, and I'm like, oh, perfect, testosterone. And she laughed, and
500 mils, perfect.
Yeah, I like that. Immune booster is the new term, you guys. You heard that here first.
Immune boosters.
You wouldn't happen to have any immune boosters.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Brad. Yeah, but so true about Dwayne, man. He has everything he already needs. It's scary, because
they can do this shit with AI. They can just go scan his face and he can go in and do the voiceover. He doesn't need to be in any goddamn
his egos. But again, he's a wrestler. That ego is going to be like, I don't need that. I can do it myself.
I don't know. Well,
you gotta have people around you.
I really hope not. He's made his money.
What was that? Hold on, Martin. What was that? Bodacious Suave?
There's got to be people in his ear, whether it's doctors, somebody, and say, "Listen, Dwayne, instead of going to 11, let's just go to 5.5 here."
Yeah, but Matthew, you don't know these Hollywood bastards, man. I've been around them, man. These agents don't give a shit.
I thought he was gearing down to do that Scorsese mob boss movie, and that's why he was going to be that size, so he actually can be in a Scorsese movie. You can't go The Rock. Oh, there's The Rock. Where every other movie, hey, he's the fucking guy in the building's falling. Hey, he's the guy.
If he says, look like this,
in a Scorsese movie, you really got to be a character to lose yourself. So I was hoping this gear down would be it for him, and now he can play. Like, even if he looks like dude from Breaking Bad who runs the chicken shack, like Saul, right? Like, even if he's like, not Saul, but like that type of older guy character.
Shredded,
Right. But to go back up to become Terminator again, dude, you might not be there for the opening of your own movie.
Exactly.
And then what did you sacrifice it for?
Right.
For Molech and Satan that I swore an allegiance to. That's why.
Well, it's true. It's true though, Ben. When they get to that level, though, I know people out there think we're joking, but we're not. I mean, enough stars have talked about that now. They really do that, don't they, Ben? You've been around the industry. Yeah.
Yes.
We're not joking, so they go down that path. And then at that point, they really think they're immortal. Ultimate power corrupts. Greed, money. So, but speaking of which, again, another topic with The Rock. I think we touched on this briefly. Ava keeps getting herself in a world of
loser.
shit.
What a loser.
The character you've loved to say goodbye to on NXT, the most horrible actress I've ever seen in my life.
She should have done business on her way out, and somebody should have fucking chokeslammed the shit out of her.
that would have been gratifying right there, Ben. I would have liked to have seen that. But now she's poking fun at the president, the immigration, and everything else. She keeps going on and on and on. Another one of these entitled little twerps. But again, what do you think? Bad parenting, Ben? Do you think that she's doing this for attention? Do you think The Rock gives a crap that she's doing this?
Yeah, he's going to have to deal with the fallout of it. It's an interesting thing because I don't really want to hold a 23-year-old nepotism billionaire baby like to any standard of understanding what hard work is, right? You've had everything handed to you and you didn't really care, and sometimes charisma skips a generation,
right
as she is a parent to. Add some facial and nose piercings and septum piercings, stupid eyewear, and a girlfriend, and of course she's going to toe the line against ICE and against Trump. But she may be the smart one because her mom's got a production company, and if she wants to go into Hollywood, going like that is the easiest way to get over with the lefty agenda. However, it's all a goddamn illusion.
Yeah,
let's break it down. You ready?
Yeah, okay.
This on Russo brand. I'll do it again here today.
Here we go.
Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, WWE, which is a Trojan horse psyop to probably get operators in to get ready for war for Iran for the last 2 years. That's what we've probably been there doing that for.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Directly tied to Donald Trump is Vince McMahon as one of his best friends and possible sex trafficker, as well as his wife Linda, who's in the administration. Triple H, make America healthy again.
Yeah.
Who is the boss of The Rock's daughter inside the loop. However, it's important to know that The Rock probably hates Triple H and has to call himself the final boss. Now we're going to play left and right politics. Okay. Who's really in charge? Well, TKO. Who runs that? Ari Emanuel. Ari Emanuel is The Rock's agent. Ari Emanuel is directly connected to Israel and Hollywood. And who really is the mover and shaker of things? Who gave Trump billions of dollars? Israel. And then, because he might not have bombed Iran last week, they released the Epstein files as an FU because he didn't pull the trigger on them. So it's all an illusion of left or right. And this little girl and The Rock are working for Ari Emanuel in Hollywood, who is directly tied to TKO, which would be Dana White. Do you see Trump and all the Dana White stuff? So on your way out, you're going, fuck you, pay me. And everybody, like, she's got to take a check from all these people, but everybody's torn like it's some political statement when they're all in the same goddamn yacht together, my guy.
Yeah.
Whether it's Bin Salman and Turkey al-Sheikh, along with whoever Netanyahu sent, along with who Trump sent, all to party with The Rock and his people, dude. There's a priest class to this. There's an ownership class, and then there's a military strategy class, and it's all encompassed in one thing. So this little girl trying to get her shit in on ICE and her woke life and, you know, LGBTQ statement is all window dressing or just the ignorance of a young girl who doesn't know any better yet where her bread is buttered. So I'm not going to hold her feet to the fire, but there's a way bigger picture in all this that nobody even tries to look at.
Well, we've been saying it as well because, you know, obviously we've been hearing, remember when Hogan came in on the Netflix, you know, the beginning, and I heard backstage rumors that they told Hogan he can't wear a Make America Great shirt again on the first episode because of Netflix have their kind of liberal mindset. But at the end of the day, like you said, you know, I've been telling people the WWE, people like Logan Paul, who's head of the food chain of WWE, has Trump on his podcast. He's right in with him.
How does that happen? What did Andrew Tate say about Logan Paul?
Remind us. Do you know, Ben?
That he is a CIA op, bro.
Really? Is that what he said?
You want to? Let's just stop and talk about this, how WWE is a Trojan horse and TKO is directly tied in with government and everything like that. Last night was the Grammys. Who are the two highlights that we've seen and everything of who won Grammys last night?
Who are
Jelly Roll and Bad Bunny.
Wow.
And who's been at WWE? Who goes to Saudi? The comedians are in Saudi. The comedians who have their special on Netflix. So Netflix can act like they're lefty, bro. But these are all just the illusion. It's an illusion of choice, illusion of separation, problem, reaction, solution. And they control all three.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So they spin you against each other. Everyone's getting worked. So to see a guy like Jim Cornette, who's a supreme worker, or Kevin Nash get worked up about this shit blows my mind to watch them get worked. You guys were more cutthroat workers in your day than what these dudes are. And you're getting worked and having a reaction. Ava, whatever her name is, she's a 23-year-old idiot. She's supposed to be stupid. That's what you are at 23 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But this whole thing is way, way bigger, and there is no division between entertainment, the spy state, Trump, the Jews of Hollywood who control the media, and then to act like it's not happening or people are pissed at each other. Even mix in that lawyer Nick LaPiccolo dude with Tony Khan stuff, right? And now you're talking agencies in Hollywood bearing each other, but then you got MJF in the mix, who's a Hollywood star. So what is going on with, you know, kind of pissing in your own lunchbox?
Yeah,
what it comes down to. You know,
that's
it's strange.
That's so true. I did hear about that, about the burner account that Tony Khan has. And then the Paradigm Agency. Again, this is the other thing, Ben. Okay, so during my time back in Hollywood, wrestling was seen as stupid shit. I mean, that's how they kind of viewed it back in the day. You know, it was just a dumbass. They had no interest, really.
I would say the same thing today.
Yeah, but now all of a sudden, they've got their fingers in all the pies of wrestling. Now I'm hearing about this Paradigm. You would never hear the word Paradigm Talent Agency in association with a wrestling company back in the day.
Yeah.
So what happened? If you can explain it to us and to the viewers, what happened with Tony Khan? Are you privy to that information? Do you know what happened with the burner account?
I just know the outside part of it, that this dude who's an agent and a former sports athlete who represents Bischoff and like Punk and Liv and Drew, I think, among other athletes, and he helped him get spots in that Zootopia thing. I've seen this where lawyers come into the business and they don't understand the mafia rules of it and they get too comfortable, because he went at Meltzer and exposed him, and because he's tight with Bischoff, and he got too comfortable. And then I heard Khan's agency that his dad's involved with contacted this dude, told him to shut up, and then it got heated back and forth in the underground of Hollywood agencies, right?
Yeah.
And then that dude kind of got pushed out of his agency and did the Jerry Maguire, I'm taking my clients with me, you know. But then he turned off his Twitter for my agent's sake, but it was back in 24 hours trying to expose Tony Khan with this burner account, Ron 69 or whatever it was. And that got taken offline. He tagged Roger Goodell in it because he's saying that Tony Khan has all these hate bots and he's been attacked by them and all this shit, because he talked openly exposing that Meltzer is Khan's brain trust, right?
Yeah.
So then it gets serious and something happens, and this guy doxes Tony Khan and puts his number and his emails out there, bro. Like, that's not a good look for you, my dog, you know?
No.
And I saw this at OVW after I left. A lawyer came in and was like the new GM and loved wrestling, and he was very animated like lawyers are and want to be the star of the show in the spotlight. There's a spotlight addiction there. And he also liked it when it snowed a lot. So like Tony Khan or any Hollywood entity might like the to put his face.
You okay, Ben? You're breaking up a little bit.
Snow, and I see. Sorry,
you're catching
I
up.
see,
There you go.
like that's usually the undoing of them. And you know, I'm not here to name names on anybody, but if you want to get into this business quick, guys are going to let you cut your own throat. And this is kind of what I'm feeling right here, because I got to believe if you're doxing Tony Khan, what does Drew McIntyre's CM Punk think about that?
Yeah.
Like, because if he'll do it to you, what happens if you have a falling out with this guy? Is he going to put your number and email out there on X? Like, that's a bad look, my dude. So it just got out of hand, you know?
We got a question that came in, another super chat, another one of our brave non-cheapskate fans right here. So I'm going to bring it up on the screen. But before we do that, do you think that guys can make it without an agent? And it seems bizarre to me, Ben, that we're talking about pro wrestlers and business people like that now have talent agents. Back in the day, that was reserved for directors, writers, actors, producers. That was it. No one outside of that sphere. Do you think wrestlers can survive without agents now, Ben?
I think actors will become wrestlers as opposed to wrestlers becoming actors, even though Batista, Rock opened the door, you know, kind of that's for Cena and others that have done smaller films to become blockbuster stars opposite, you know, Stallone or anything. Stallone continues to use wrestlers. I love to see cash flow on that show, bro. That guy busted his ass on the indies in Kentucky for years, and now he's fucking 3 seasons deep on Stallone's Tulsa Kings. What a great overnight success after 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, like another one. So sorry, I didn't want to get off your question there.
I was going to say, tying into what you said earlier, we got a super chat here from one of our members, from Mason, actually. He said, Demond Wilson, Lamont from Stanford & Son, passed away Saturday. But he did interviews last year where he addressed the stuff that Ben is just talking about. I guess the stuff we were talking about all the connections all the way up the hierarchies. So he was just talking about that last year. I guess Mason maybe trying to allude to the fact that maybe the passing is connected, perhaps. I don't know. I'm just reading into what he just said right now.
What do you want, you big dummy? Shout out Lamont, man. I used to love Sanford and Son. And to Elizabeth, to his mama. So, yeah, man, passing. You're going to see more and more of those 70s stars meet their maker. Nobody beats Father Time, but we can think back fondly. And yeah, dude, this is old Hollywood, bro. This has been going on in media control. And right now it's a strange thing in social media of anti-Semitism against stuff of like banking and ownership in Hollywood of that, to like they act like they're put off that's a bad thing and that people are smiting them. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think they embrace that PR in a wrong way, and when they try and step up and make their voices loud and heard, it kind of undoes the motive of what they're trying to do. I think wrestling can handle any characters, man, and like a guy like Colt Cabana or MJF are perfect conduits to make Israel, American Jewishness, like family stuff, and share that shit, as opposed to it being like a sidebar. Don't talk about that on camera, or like if Sami Zayn's for Palestine. Wrestling is beautiful in that respect, that can be going on in the world, and we can do the healing through the acting of wrestling. The work can handle anything if you approach it with the right respect. That's Del Close 101. So if we need to get over politics and why, and MJF is representing one thing and Sami Zayn is doing another, can we find a ground at the end where after we went to battle, we have a common respect for each other? Even in Mortal Kombat 3, they ended with friendshipality sometimes. And respect for each other. Our art can reflect that and heal that wound. My entire id of my character is to pay off the bullshit of 9/11, of not being told the real story. Because people, we threw bin Laden in the ocean. Sure you did. Yeah. Okay. Building 7 came down. Oh, okay. Nothing hit it. No, it just fell down on its own. Oh, okay.
Very strange. I remember watching that one. Very
all that shit's right there, my guy. And it's an untouched nerve. So when they see my shoulders pinned to the mat for 3, I let some of that steam out of the kettle. I build it up to make them hate me more, but that's what they really need in a PTSD relief. You asked me before about the soldier. The dude came to the show, was ready to jump the barrier on me, bro. Everyone I was doing it had my own ISIS flag with my face on it. Got reported from death threats that he sent me on Facebook early on. His sergeant called him in. He doubled down and was like, oh, I'm sorry, I just lost it. I was drunk at a wrestling show. They gave him that opportunity. No, this guy's got to go down. We got to go find him. Like, okay, you're out of the military. And old Vietnam vets too. Like a lot of guys get it. And one time in way backwoods Kentucky, Campbellsville, where KKK and they have rebel flags painted on barns, huge ones. Like I almost got stabbed one night there. We had to get out of town. We almost got lynched, and the cops showed up, but we were getting out of there. So I sacrifice for my art when I commit to the bit, because I want to be the worst nightmare of what was going on. And that was hot button time at that time, 2008, when the war was prime time. And it could be that now with Iran for me, if I wanted to come back or do Epstein Island shit, or Kingdom of Saudi Arabia stuff. Like now I just gloat. When I came out that promo, it's Riyadh season. Who took over wrestling? In the beginning, I said my id was to crush professional wrestling, get rid of Vince McMahon for all time. Vince is gone. Wrestling sucks, and the Saudis have taken over. I may be in a pod in the Matrix, and I have dreamed all of this. I'm sorry, you guys, if I did and I ruined your wrestling, but I may have manifested it all. So.
No, I mean, we're seeing right through it now. It's very apparent, but I love what you said there about healing the world. And it made me think of the way society has gone. When we were allowed to, I remember DX, I remember my Uncle Paul and Shaw doing Little People's Court, and shit like that on Monday Night Raw, which would never be allowed today. But if you look at the world back then, we had less depression, less lunatics running around committing crimes. We didn't have all these extremists posting their entire life on social media saying that you're wrong and I'm right, because people had that relief valve that you're talking about there, Ben.
Did Nikolai Volkov and Iron Sheik beat Hulk Hogan during the Cold War era at the end of the feud? Who won?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Perfect, right? So I think that's the big thing that we're missing now. And this, I think, being too sensitive. They've trained people to be too sensitive. I mean, I've got some great ideas, Ben, that I'll share with you privately about some characters, but like, you know.
I used this clip because I was pumped about it that he even said it, and I like to use people's words against him, but he came out into the arena and went, "We got Jews in the house."
Well, yep.
If you're going to do that, yeah, but what happens when a pro-Palestine thing breaks out? And then they would quell that, right, instantly, and he would get hot about it. Instead of leaning into it, where can we go with this? Why can't we do geopolitical themes and everything? We still got to have, you know, like the shucking and jiving black guys. Meanwhile, Black Lives Matter's going on in the streets.
Yep.
When I came up with that with Ali and the whole resistance movement gimmick was based off Antifa, and then there were the other guys there that were the ex-veterans that were going to be like the Tea Party guys.
Yeah.
So we had all the people that were in the streets. 3 weeks later, after they had them do a Molotov cocktail, they're doing animal faces into the fucking into the camera and wrestling in a ring.
Yeah.
Retribution, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like it was originally written to be Antifa versus Proud Boys versus Black Lives Matter. And they got maybe 10% out of it because they don't want to touch what's echoing right outside our doors on every other channel, bro.
Yep, exactly. And they missed the boat with so many things. You know, when the world got shut down during the whole pandemic there, wrestling pretended like it didn't exist. It wasn't any part of their storylines. I mean, you could have done some hilarious situations there with not wanting to touch anybody, stay away from me, you know, little segments backstage and whatnot. But no, they did not. We got another question here from Mason, another super chat. Thank you, Mason. Bro, that's a great word right there. What's it like working with Vince Russo, Ben?
Well, this is the fourth show I've done today, so forgive me if my voice is powering out a little bit. And I did them with Vince Russo, 3 shows today. And it is, you know, a dream come true, really, to be honest with you, man. I don't mark out for Vince. I give him the best business advice I can. And he's a big brother and a sounding board for each other. He, Stevie, and I together. And to get to collaborate with him allegedly and be consultants for Monday Night Raw during pandemic era was, you know, kind of going to be the peak of my career. And I was fine after that because I earned a decent check, you know, and I got to be, I wanted to work alongside Vince McMahon as the next Vince Russo. Instead, I worked with Vince Russo and went over the head of Vince McMahon to fucking get things out. So it's strange how things work out, right? And I didn't have to be on the road. I didn't have to kiss ass and cut throats and all the bullshit. Instead, I just got to do creative with an ECW legend and the most famous writer of all time. Yeah. And to even think that my journey has been to get to that level of respect from my peers is very humbling, dude. So I don't really need vilification from fans. Well, he never got there. Dude, my journey, I look back at it and go, holy shit. Because I had 10 years in comedy before I started this too, you know? So it's been a life fantastic as an artist to get to either create digitally for corporate world to fund my nightly fun in improv comedy and wrestling, bro, and be on the road, see the world, and slap people in the face for $5 when they pay me. It's fucking crazy.
You're not gonna. Oh, go ahead, buddy.
Ben, you sleep well at night, and not an insulter there, just because your head like doesn't stop.
Yeah, dude. Neither is my mouth, right?
Which is great. It's great. Like, how do you?
Yeah, dude. When I went to Chicago, my life really changed. Like, I've been acting since I was 12, so I've been a theater kid forever. And you know, what was available to me. But when you become an improviser and you really get into the cult of improv, your mind changes to what's called yes and, where most people 85% say no but and why, which is a conversation stopper. And I guess if you're trying to form an improv cult, saying yes and is a good first rule, so no one can deny you of what you're telling them to do, right? And then we do a lot with group mind and pattern recognition and formless forms. Very Bruce Lee, Jake Kundo, everything can fit the form. And that if you respect the work and don't go for the joke, that the character, as you play it, the natural comedy will rise to the surface, even if it's in a dark moment where somebody's in a hospital for chemotherapy. That's a dark moment. We've had a lot of laughs tonight, haven't we?
Yes, we have. Yes,
and it's not just me trying to make you feel better through the power of good brotherhood, which it is, and I'm sending all my good vibes your way. That's just the way I try and operate and connect with people. And as I plug into the hive mind with even new friends like you guys. And then when I'm around people that I can really build a trust with, like Vince, Stevie, or any of my improv teammates, Conspiracy Horsemen, my staff at Hamin Media, I can always bring them up and I can always make them better through yes and they achieve things that they never thought they could personally, because sometimes that's all people need to hear is, yes, you can do it, and here's my way to punch it up for you. And if we're then ping-ponging that back and forth, now we got something special and a bond together, dude. So that's what we saw with Roman Reigns and Punk the other night. And sometimes I sleep, but my back is so fucked up from taking bumps that usually I'm tossing and turning. But thank you for the compliment, dude. You really made me feel good with that.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And echoing off of that, it's funny because I just started thinking differently in the last 2 or 3 years, Ben. And I find that I can't go like what you said, yes and no, or telling yourself no in the past, you know, as most people tend to do. Sure. Now I'm just, yes, I want to get there. How do I get there? I want to do this. Let's do it. No excuses why I can't. We can, period. And it's a process in the brain. You have to.
There's big yeses, and sometimes you can just use it at the dollar store on people like the Jedi mind shit who are looking for, even if they're angry. And you can yes and their anger and justify their feeling, and they feel connected. Like it really is a thing that needs to be trained and a muscle that needs to be worked. And when you see it in improv, it's more to serve scenes and silly ideas that we can spin things out. Like I came up with, and I love seeing this guy shine, Tim Robinson, and like does weird sketch comedy. But everything he does kind of spins out to a weird place because he commits to that weirdness, and everyone says yes to the game. And when you have people who understand that, which is a few core people, they become some of the best performers on the planet. And that's all your Saturday Night Live spin out people who understand that shit, you know? So anybody improv Olympic, from Mike Myers, Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, all of them. So
yeah, and I think that's what was popular in wrestling. It was populated by a lot of improv guys back in the day, and I think that's what gave it that shine that it had back in the 90s and whatnot. Everyone was operating on that level.
I think they just knew it and were their own character and did it. They would hit brick walls with some guys, but a Piper you can improvise with instantly. He's gonna connect his physical energy and touch you, and you're right there eye to eye with him. It's almost like you're one thing, you know, operating like opposite ends of a magnet of some type, you know. So it's very kinetic, and I think human beings have a lot of telepathy powers, bro, but we just, our minds aren't trained that way, or they wanted to calcify this third eye. And once you can really exercise that with a group, and there are exercises that can be done, you can tap into a hive mind, so much so that with your spouse, and I'm sure if you're married you have this, get out of my head, I was just thinking that. Dude, I can throw that shit on my wives and anytime I almost want to, like 20 minutes ahead of what they're thinking, to plant those thoughts, and then I just have to say it. So I don't know, man. Maybe I'm a star seed, and I was I mean, I'm an empath.
Well, I definitely agree with you 100%. Like I said, I've seen some shifts and some changes in my life and the way I think these days. I'm a man of faith, so that ties into everything that I do as well. So, but I definitely understand what you're saying. We have a lot more power up here than most people give credit for. And I think maybe in wrestling, if I'm going to relate this to wrestling for our wrestling contingent, that's maybe why they want to control so badly with the scripts and the rehearsal of every damn move in the match, just to crush any ability to see beyond and what they could truly be, and just control. It's all about control at the end of the day, has it not been?
Well, you got to get these performers through that system and on the main roster so you don't look like an idiot who didn't train anybody. But really, it takes 6 to 8 years to get it in improv too, to where it becomes, a part of your skill set of just who you are. It really is. Are you going to master your instrument? I don't care if it's violin, if it's acting, or if it's pro wrestling. You have to put that time in. And if you think that you've got your sword sharp, you're going to get exposed on the main roster when you're sitting there doing an uptalk girl promo that means nothing, and then Punk and Roman get to go do it the right way. Everybody should be doing it that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
That should be the standard. You can't have a elementary school play and a college play on the same show and go, they're equally as good. This is all part of the same show.
Yeah,
it's business exposing bad, but that's people wanting to hold on to their jobs, not wanting to make the art and the craft the highest level it could be by doing that and admitting, hey, where can we improve? And plugging that in is the way, dude. It absolutely is.
Well, I think a lot of the problem is as well. I think a lot of the new talent today will come through the back, and I saw this firsthand on multiple takeovers and TV tapings and stuff like that. Oh my God, that was amazing. And it's like, are you watching the same thing? Yeah. So I think a lot of it is just, it comes down to people in power just, that's okay, that's fine. And every part of me that's been, I've been wrestling nearly 23 years in June this year. It's like, wait, that's seriously? Why am I working so hard then?
And then those same people, I don't watch my tape. I'm but
for me, I'm like, so why do I care so much if you can get away with that and you're getting the monster push? And I'm just like,
and that's what we called on another show, Generation Useless. Helicopter parented kids who have to be told that they've done a good job no matter, hey, you crapped in your pants, good job.
I always came up, I was like, never tell me what I did right, because I can probably feel that when I'm out there what I did right. Tell me what I did wrong so I can get better.
Absolutely.
I never saw that. It was just, okay, all right, next.
And you're also just working at that point to get patted on the head when you walk through Gorilla and not be improving your character and getting over. And then you're like, why am I not getting over? Because that's your time to do it. Even if you have to break out of what they wrote for you and make it your own, at least you conveyed their idea.
I mean, me and my tag partner, we were booked like shit for 4 years until they finally put the tag titles on us. But we got over with a crowd. It was just, we just got over. It was one of those,
But they keep saying it's a meritocracy. Well, how are you supposed to show merit and get over if you won't really provide us with the right stakes? You're giving me the opportunity, but you're handcuffing me creatively.
We just did. Again, we had 6 to 8 minutes most matches, depending on what it was. But we got over.
I can get blown up in 4. So that's
I can get all my shit in 30 seconds. You know what I mean? But just it always amazed me. I was like, no matter how bad we got booked, we got over. And I think that's genuinely because people knew, all right, these are dudes that have been around. Like, just we were there for the fans. We just did our thing.
Well, you're there to be player coaches, to get these D1 athletes who don't know their history, who don't know whatever, to make them look good, to hide their weaknesses, because you're a carpenter, you're a technician, but you're not good enough to be champ. You know what I mean? There's just something about
so
it's your accent. If you could just get rid of your accent, Martin, we can make it champ. But this week, it's just not for you, it's for this guy.
Again, my time period in NXT was all of the workers. We had no athletes in there.
Mhm.
So ours was that good time period. So
Yeah.
ours was the time period between like
That's
2018.
nice. That's nice.
And so it was just,
but they
it was
got you
genuine
there.
talent.
They got you there, and we're not doing Peaky Blinders.
Well, not yet, Ben. We've got something to discuss with you off camera, Martin and I, actually. So,
Sure.
after
We'll
it's
talk. Just all right there, my guy. Even the mafia dudes they just had. We got them, and then the NBA it gets exposed for having mob ties. No, we're not doing anything with that. The mob guys on our show are fixing wrestling matches. We're not gonna do any of that. Oh, okay. You guys are killing it over there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's right there. They do the opposite of what's right in front of your face. Like we said, it comes back to that third eye, that vision. They've killed it off. They don't have it anymore, and they're not seeing beyond what's right in front of their faces anymore. I think
that retribution shit. I was just watching them crush coffee shops, flip cars. The first week they threw that Molotov cocktail and they went off like something happened. I was like, fuck yeah. I was so pumped that our idea got there and they actually executed it right. And then 3 weeks in, I'm like, I had written 6 weeks of shit of like, they trapped Triple H in his car. Like they smashed through the front window. Remember the guy showed up with the gun at NXT? Like the Psycho fan?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. So I to go off of that. And then there was 2 or 3 other things of like, how can you do what looks like the Dark Knight when everything starts to break down in Gotham, right? And then you got the fucking dudes fighting them that are the Proud Boys, the Republican Trumpers in the parking lot, and off we go, and shit's getting spray painted old NWO style with all that. Week 3, we're making fucking faces like we're zoo animals on camera. How do you go from anti-establishment terrorism to that in 3 weeks, guy?
Yeah.
How do we had Raw Underground 3 weeks. Shane McMahon, we were working with him to Shane was so pumped about that. He loved that idea. In week 3, they had Lashley and them show up, kick the shit out of everybody, and it was done. No more strippers, no more Fight Club. It was supposed to be like we had all these MMA guys, right? We had Matt Riddle and half all these shooters, and Killer Cross is coming, and we're just gonna rip off what was going on with like the Bloodsport remake shit, right? That all these guys want to go work. Nope. Shot in the ass. And now everybody's like, bring back Vince. Do you remember when Vince was in charge? He's upstairs doing mock rapes and shitting on chicks, signing NDAs, and half the arena's tarped off. What do you want him back for? I want all of them gone. Hayes, all of them. They all got to go. They all allegedly 19 times, my guy.
Jeez, man. And I agree with you with Hayes as well.
This revisionist history is fucking unbelievable.
So
Marty's falling out over.
I know he has. He's off the chair.
Ben,
yeah, go ahead, buddy.
What's your opinion on why, example, Bruce Pritchard, Michael Hayes, there's probably another scumbag there that I can't remember. How do they still have a job? If I'm, say, TKO, don't you want anyone cleaned out like that had ties to Vince? I don't want you on this team.
And now we're talking about on a high level. Why would those guys be gone? Or why would they stay? Because they know where the bodies are buried. and they know that they could be called to witness, and then that could go bad for TKO, and then stock prices and Netflix deals and everything could hinge on it. And it is a goddamn liability to keep them around. Yeah. I say rip the Band-Aid off and get rid of them. Michael Hayes finishes from God where he's nailed it in the back. Like they're not that good, my guy. It ain't like God's a shitty booker if that's what it comes down to. So, all those guys are throat cutters who know how to keep their job. They leech on, and they, with a look, can get somebody to fire R-Truth. You know what I mean? And run somebody down that way instead of seeing the value of what he is as a lifetime performer. So that's what they focus on in their cutthroat world. And then you've got executives at Netflix and every other place that are being sold a bad bill of goods by them. They're the used car salesmen after these deals get done that they pass them off to. When we smartened up Chris McCumber, he had been getting worked by Bruce and by Paul and by Vince in these meetings and lied to, and like how they could easily work a mark and string him along, even though he's the president of USA Network and a very smart guy. When he told us what they were telling him, we gave him back the worker answers of how to cut that shit off at the pass. He went and had his next meeting. When he came back, he was like, "Oh my God, you should have seen their face when I said this to him," because they knew they couldn't get over on him anymore.
Right.
They knew he'd been smartened up.
Yeah.
Right. And all that old bullshit wasn't going to work anymore, my guy. It's time for real answers. Not, well, Monday Night Football was on. Well, like the buck stopped here. And that was the insurance policy of what he hired Russo, along with mine and Stevie's help, to consult. Now, when you're consulting, you can only give them ideas. They're only going to execute what, but dude, you want to talk about what they did get right? And I loved it because Stevie brought it up as just a rib. Like, what's the dumbest thing we could do? I go, and he goes, we should have money in the bank. We have money in the bank on the roof. Just like that, money in the banks on the roofs next week. So like that, if you want to know what our time was, that's what it was. And there is episodes of the consultants on my Patreon. I should finish the notes and finish it out. I got sidetracked with a whole weed business, but patreon.com/Hamin Media Group. But yeah, dude, that's the problem with those guys being there, dude. And it's not like I want to go on the road. There's plenty of guys that are capable that I think are great writers and great creatives in this business. And I would love to see everything we talked about character-wise and what I'm sure you're teaching Amir on your masterclass become the foundation of developmental. So we don't have to rely on the old guard. So we don't have to rely on nepotism. So we don't have to rely on scripts, that we can create competent performers that can react in the moment and inject emotion into their stories in wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that would be the one thing that we need to propel wrestling in that positive direction like it used to be. I mean, it's almost, I like you said, I agree. It's not going to happen.
Here's what's going to happen. Arabs are going to buy Netflix, going to go over there, and AI is going to write the show in 2 years.
You know what, Ben? I've been saying it as well. I've been saying it.
Exactly what's going to happen.
Why can't you create an entire AI pro wrestling promotion with AI characters who never get hurt, never get tired, can always stay jacked, and the program writes itself? And the Saudis,
they're all going to look like Triple H. Even the women are going to be like Triple H.
Yeah, exactly.
Triple H in blackface, Asian Triple H, Japanese Triple H,
That's it. That's it. I mean, seriously, but I think obviously the main grab for the Saudis or anybody would be the library of WWE. For sure, the library. I don't think they give a shit about the live show if they were to take it. Let's say the Saudis do take it. Do you honestly think they're going to be promoting, putting on shows anymore, Ben?
I love what you're thinking, Amir, but I don't think that they give a fuck about the library. It's part of the property that raises the price up. But we're so in the bubble and micro-focused on wrestling. Now, imagine you had to start a Las Vegas, and wrestling is only one of the 30 components you need for entertainment to get at that. You also, they got wrestling, they got boxing, they got live golf, they got flag football. So now they want real football, NBA, NASCAR, hockey, MMA, Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah,
we need something for the wives. What else? We need all the Broadway shows.
Yeah,
you're gonna have Phantom of the Opera, Les Mis, Arab version, all Arab actors. What else? Family
they took that power slap out there. I know they went out there and did that already.
Oh, they did. Loser loses a hand. It's a good time. Then you would probably need something on ice, and that'll work real well in the desert. Disney on ice, just something for the kids. So if you're trying to build this Vegas experience, we're locked in on the wrestling. That's one tiny component of it.
Yeah.
So they're not going, we're not buying it unless we get the WWE library. They'll be like, they'll just go, how much they want for it? Sold. Go next thing.
True. I tell you what, the way you've allowed
can we go? I got to get pissed on by 9 tonight. I'm sorry. I can't. Can we wrap the meeting up? Like, that's what Ben Solomon's doing. Like, yeah, sure. Buy his library. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, thank you so much, Ben, for taking us out. Like I said,
I wasn't trying to do that. I was just trying to say that's their wrap up. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. That's how quick they think about that shit. They don't. Yeah. We're like, will the library increase?
Yeah. Yeah, true. They don't give a shit. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They do.
You know how fast they make $2 billion on interest on a $1 trillion fund.
Well, how many seconds? Ben?
Yeah,
how many seconds?
They make $160 million every minute.
Wow,
$160 million a minute comes down to.
That's a lot of damn cash. Yeah, exactly. Who cares? You got that much money, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. So
it's part of. Sorry, go ahead, Matthew.
No, go ahead, Amir. Go ahead.
I was going to say, what he's brought up, students, is that Ben has brought up that it's much bigger than WWE. WWE is just a microscopic part in the big plans here of the Saudis. It's all tied together by William Morris, those carpetbaggers, I like to call them. They're controlling all this. They're putting it all together, and they just want it, again, just own it all. And it's all for this Pinocchio Island that they're building out there in Saudi Arabia. I want to say that again, the Pinocchio. Last night when I saw the WWE wrestlers having fun, because you know what happens when you have fun, gentlemen? You're taken out of you're not as smart anymore because you're having fun. You're relaxed.
Right,
you're not on your It's a circus. We got another super chat right here come in from one of our channel members here, Mike Blaisley. Why would they want to kill the history of the best times in wrestling? Keep the library is so important. Well, I think, Ben, you just addressed that. Like, why would they want to kill it, Ben? What would you think?
They don't care. They don't really respect or know it. They just want to bring in Western culture and sing Randy Orton's theme song. They don't care about the Killer Bees versus the Rougeau brothers, my dog. And I know you do, and it's tough to I've dedicated my life to this. They pimped out a product. They sold it. They sold it as a lemon. They overpromised and underdelivered for the last 15 years. And now there's only a few sales left, and the new world order realignment of what really is going to go on in the world, which is untapped markets in the Middle East and bringing Islam into the mainstream in a very Western culture acceptable way is what the plan is. And a lot of people have put multi-billions, if not trillions, behind that plan. So mine and your love of any storyline or anything historic does not weigh in on that progress. It really is like kind of cosplaying American culture without really having to adopt it. And we have to be like, oh, with a smiley face, especially when comedians who should be punching both sides and speaking openly go over there for a mega check, and then all of their credibility that a comedian needs is out the window because you just got pimped out. And I'm glad they made their money, but you don't get to come back and hold the high ground of moral opinion over people anymore.
It's so true. As we're talking here, and I'm glad we went down this rabbit hole, because one of the things we love to do on this podcast, Ben, is go beyond just the obvious news articles. And I think one of the bigger things that I see here is back in the day, obviously it's called show business, but the show was always bigger in the public realm than the business side. Now what's happened is you've got my Uncle Paul, you got Triple H constantly talking about the numbers on the pre-shows and the post-shows and how much money we made and all this bullshit. And I know even in the promos now, the guys always talk about in this business. I remember back in the day, I don't remember Hogan saying in this business, or the Ultimate Warrior saying in this business.
Yeah.
They never addressed it as a business. It was a make-believe world. It was entertainment. So more and more now, like you're saying, Ben, the show part, even in movies, is getting pushed to the back, and the business is what people like. Even the guys like Logan Paul, that little twerp, Logan Paul, he's always talking about how much money he made. Look at my house. Look at my money. Look at my pyramid scheme business that I'm operating that I ripped off people for $2.5 million for. It's business now, Ben, that is thrust into the limelight. And all the show, like you said, everything we've been passionate about, now they're just No, you're going to focus on business first. We're going to talk to you about all these deals. It's a sad state we find ourselves in. Hey, they predicted it with the New World Order in WCW in 1996. They said it right there.
Yeah, corporate everything, my guy. When they went public at WWE, you saw them realign everything in a corporate policy. And this is where we're at now with it. And it was to set that up for sales, to get a stock price, to get a true value, to take it from the carny backwoods wrestling to corporate. And to do that, you have to have a real structure and give Stephanie McMahon 50 stupid Webby awards and whatever else it is that you need to do to convince, Wall Street that we're legit. We rang the bell, and then they sell. And that's when you can get more and more and more by selling a lemon product to NBC, to ESPN. It took ESPN one quarter to have Freddie Prinze Jr. stooge off that they're pissed off already. Netflix, they started at 5.5 million last year. 5.5 million. Where are we at this year?
1 point something, isn't it?
1 point, 2 million or whatever per episode.
Now explain to me how any business sense in any meeting you could walk in, even go, we're making more money than ever. Then how did you just lose 65% of your audience? A plus or minus 8 in business is about the standard deviation, maybe even 4%. 65%, everybody's getting fired in any other company.
Yeah.
If you're the board of directors, the head of creative, and you lost 65% of an audience in 4 quarters, let alone most of that in the first 2 quarters, we were under 3 million by June. That's
fast. Wow. Yeah.
So how does it keep happening? Because it is a Trojan horse for the U.S. government with a connection into Saudi. So Bruno Sammartino's reign means fuck all, my guy. Sure. It's hard to talk to wrestling fans and get that over in their minds. And I hate to be the one to do it, but I have to frame it up that way because I can't. See it through that lens. You just did. We call this masterclass. You just did these students watching this a service, Ben. You did not do them a disservice. We've been trying to get this across. I've been talking about the difference between sports entertainment, purist wrestling, bullshit wrestling, and you have summed it up. They need to lean into it. They're still only getting 10%. So we got a Slim Jim thing. Why did we not get Eli Drake or whatever, LA Knight and fucking Yeet doing the Mega Powers reboot, and they go on a 2-year run? And instead they just did one commercial and we got some stickers on a thing, and we got to go back into stupid wrestling and get this over. If I'm looking at this as a business guy inside the bubble where my vision isn't clouded, and we're doing Flywheel and Synergy, and it's Wheatley Vodka and JP Morgan, I'm going to start coming out on my tights with corporate branding. I'm going to fucking actually search out brands to put on myself like NASCAR, because if we're going to pimp this bitch out, I'm getting my money too. I'm not going to let you racehorse me and then I get nothing out of it. They don't see that, but they keep them dumb in the wrestling fantasy world of Triple H loves you and hugs you while they sell out. While they sell out to another corporate entity and just use you.
Ben, do you think, and by the way, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button to this channel, do not be a coward. Make sure you do it right now. Step into the spotlights with us here on the Masters of Wrestling. One of the things I want to say, Ben, is do you think some of these wrestlers have become that naive, that idiotic, that they can't see or think what we're thinking and discussing right now? The ones that work there right now.
Some who are over possibly do, but they might be too addicted to the limelight to do that. If you're a young performer, like, I don't know what her name is, I call her Big Purse. I look at that girl and go, why is she not get a Coach deal, Chanel, whatever the fuck, and get it over, dude? That if you got nothing else except long legs and a shitty NXT education, and the purse is what's supposed to get you over, you put a brick in the purse. You go get a purse deal from Louis Vuitton and you hit a bitch in the head with the fucking brick purse. It's as easy as that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now we're over.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
like, but But
they don't want that. They do not want the workers to think like that, though.
They don't. They want to keep you dumb. You got to the main roster. Shawn Michaels gave you a hat and a hug on camera at NXT. I'm here to make money and make moments, dog. I only got so many punches on my bump card. I got to fucking get over.
Dangle the WrestleMania moment over talent. Oh,
they want
you to get over with. They want you to get over with Gorilla, not the audience.
Yeah.
Right. I want to get over with the audience and get paid, dog.
Ben, it's spilled over into the indies too. In the indies, and in other companies, they're going out there. The first thing they think about when they walk back through the curtain is their adulation from the other wrestlers. That's all they care about. They have brainwashed these people. Like I've said many times, when we go out there and we perform, my first and foremost job is to get over with that crowd, to entertain the shit out of that crowd. If the promoter's happy with me, fine. To be perfectly honest, I don't give a shit what anybody else backstage thinks, because they're not signing my check and they're not the audience, other than the promoter, right? That's it.
If Becky Lynch doesn't tell me I did a good job, then I'm just not good with it.
Well, she is. Well, if her husband doesn't get that, Mr. Becky Lynch himself. But we got another super chat right now from Mike again. Thank you, Mike. This man knows what the deal is. Too many title belts in the WWE. It makes the titles mean less. Well, you could say the same about good old Tony Khan.
Participation trophies.
Like Tony Khan, man.
That is participation trophy 101. And if everybody's got a belt, guess what I want? Not have a belt. I want a blood feud storyline. I want a you fuck my wife storyline. I want a kidnapping storyline. I want a I'm broken at eating sandwiches out of the dumpster storyline. I don't want to be Northeastern champ of Iowa County. Like, hey.
I'll say something now that I know would annoy a lot of guys on the indies. A title is put on you when you can't get over.
I just don't have enough faith in any indie promoter to even know what they're doing that much.
No, of course not. But at the end, you think about it, like you would always have like the most jacked guy would have the title, and the baby faces would be bouncing around him, or the heels would be bouncing around the baby face. Goldberg.
I had that exact guy in DCW. We called him Big Cat. He looked just like Goldberg. He couldn't move. He could do a spear and maybe one standing suplex because he's strong enough to hold the guy. And we just had all heels work around him,
bounce off him. Yep, and
that's
make
it.
him. That's what a title's for. You put it.
And Rip would say belts are for guys. Yeah, belts are for guys who can't get over with character. He looks believable. Put the belt on him. Let the heels who have the character that are hated. Get the fucking heat, and he kills everybody. It's that easy. But instead they can't get. Instead they name him Braun Breaker instead of Braun Steiner, and they bury the shit out of him 1 week and get him over the next, and bury him the next week, and he's never
so
over.
True.
I love
so true, man.
I worked with Braun. I love Braun to death. They've done a great job of making him like, oh, this is the guy. But at the end of the day, he's maybe 6 foot, and he's a really poor Goldberg.
But here's the thing:
they keep killing him every week, like Ben said.
The mental part, dude. When they have the mold, they fuck it up.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes is the son of Dusty Rhodes.
Right.
Randy Orton is the son of Bob Orton.
Right.
Braun Breaker is no. There is no. There's no. Breaker.
Oh yeah.
You're dumb as fuck.
Named. Yeah.
Right.
It's served up to them, and they still can't do it.
Right.
On the easiest
way. They
way.
didn't create their fathers and everything. So we have to create.
It takes a real special type of retard to fuck up nepotism. It's that easy.
It takes another special kind. Did you see how they screwed up Powerhouse Hobbs? That was the most pathetic thing I saw at the Royal Rumble. Powerhouse Hobbs comes on the screen on the Titantron, and then it breaks, and now it's Royce Keys, and they try and
boy, that'll show Tony Khan. Wow, got him, got him.
So they did that on a This is going back to maybe 2015. They did that with Finn Balor, but they did it on a dark match, and they had like his New Japan entrance come on. and then his name morphed into his new name.
Yeah.
And it was
faces,
awesome, but
he
you don't do
faces
that
off.
on a you
not
don't do
on
that.
the Royal Rumble. That's
You
why
don't do that on a Royal
birthday
Rumble.
show.
No, definitely not.
But then he faces off with Cody, who has history with Powerhouse Hobbs, not Royce Keys.
Right.
So break it, forget about it. New guy, get him in the ring. Old guy.
Just have him come out, destroy everyone, like bounce a load of people, like bounce a few people around. Then you can do the backstory at a later date. But that Rumble entrance should have just been looks awesome. You know, his gear looked great, like he looked like a star. But then it was just.
But then again, okay, so you rebrand him Royce Keys, yet he's still wearing the Powerhouse Hobbs gear, which makes no sense. Royce Keys, in my mind, signal something else. Maybe he's got some money. Maybe he's a rich guy. Maybe he's a bit of a player or something like that. They did nothing to rebrand him, and they've already killed him because of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Your only hope, Obi-Fen, whatever the heck his name is, because he's too similar to him. It's like bringing in a guy from Street Fighter like Guile and Cody at the same time. It doesn't make sense. They've X'd each other out already.
I'm sure they're going to be a tag team at some point. So,
well, then they diluted both of them.
The problem is that Triple H doesn't see color, so he doesn't know. He's not even aware that they're both black. That's
right. Yep, he's no clue, apparently.
Yeah. He never did blackface. He just sat in the chair in the back. He didn't even realize they were painting him that color. He just thought it was regular makeup.
I do remember that.
The Nation. Yeah.
That's right.
The Nation of Domination. I remember that. Matthew, have you got any more questions for Ben? Anything else you want to contribute as we kind of bring this to a close here?
No, I'll just gonna ride this one out. It's been a blast. Been so happy to meet you.
Not a problem, man. You hung in way longer than I was hoping. I want you to get some rest, my guy. I mean,
no, life's good, man. And
I've
I've had a good day with doctors and all that. And I got a shower. And when Amir told me you were coming on, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I got to find a way to get on this. And
well, you get home and rest up, and you guys let me know, and I'll come back, man. And you and I'll shoot the shit when you're feeling, your best, dude. So. Definitely thank you for having me on, man, and especially to show up with this gimmick. Crazy.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Ben, and we appreciate each and every one of you, our viewers out there. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you tune in again with us on Thursday live. I'll be here with Rico and Martin, and we have a special guest come in on Thursday as well. You won't want to miss that one. Make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you follow Ben and everything he's doing. Make sure you go over and check out. You're on Russo's brand, right? Russo show as well?
We just split up Channel Attitude, so I have patreon.com/Hamin Media Group, Friday, Monday Locker Room, all the review shows with great community. A lot of you guys are here in the chat tonight, and if you're just finding out about HMG, check us out. Even the Facebook group, a good place just to hang out during shows. And Russo's is Russo TWC Patreon. So I'm on there doing Master Shoot Theater. I just did an Unreal review with him today, as well as the Raw and SmackDown review with Stevie Richards. So still producing great shows all week long. And I did Cafe de Rene, and this has been an honor. And I think I'm going to be doing K100 in the next week. So making the rounds, try and get the word out about patreon.com/Hamin Media Group, $5 a month. But I love having you guys in the universe now, man, with us, this synergy. So thank you so much for the invite, Amir. I think you're doing great on Cafe de Rene. Martin, absolutely wonderful to meet you. A good brother there, man. And I'm excited to hear about what you got going on in the future, too. And try not to bang all the nurses tonight, my guy, okay? Save a little for somebody else.
Don't tell him that. It will go to his head, Ben. I just see.
Have you seen anybody even come and see me?
I seen you looking off camera.
Yeah.
Look at those big.
There's been too many times. Oh, excuse me. What?
Yeah, we saw you talking right there.
Well, right. They brought me my daily apple juice. That's it.
Yeah. I think my catheter tube is hurt. Could you check this for me real quick?
All right, Ben, Matthew, Martin, stay on the line here. I'm just going to close this segment here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one. God bless.
YOLO.
Students, your time has come. I have decided that it's time to share some of my knowledge with you. That's right. Do you want to become a true legendary professional wrestling character? Do you want to learn how to project your voice, to enunciate, to come up with the greatest promos that you possibly could? Then you need to join me each and every week for just $50. I am hosting a masterclass on Zoom. That's right. You don't have to travel. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. I will teach you how to become the greatest character you can be. I will help you discover who you truly are. I will help you with taglines, promos, etc., etc. Join me for just $50 a week in a masterclass of wrestling character development. There's a reason they call us the masters of wrestling.